Hello, my name is Scott Brinkerhoff, and I'm contacting you on behalf of the New Braunfels Community Emergency Response Team. To give you some history and context, New Braunfels sits in between San Antonio and Austin, Texas, along the I-35 corridor. When large storms track across central Texas, they tend to track along that corridor, dumping tons of water into the hill country north of our city. Well, that water has to go somewhere, and when it moves, it tracks down 4 waterways that conjoin into what is the Guadalupe River, and that river runs right through the middle of downtown New Braunfels. Because of this, in June of 2010, there was a devastating flood that impacted most of the downtown area, as well as many of the surrounding communities. Due to the overwhelming need for immediate support by our first responders during this catastrophic event, the city's Office of Emergency Management knew that something needed to be done. So in December of 2010, NBCERT was established to train volunteers from the community to provide first aid, search and rescue services, damage assessment, and emergency operations center support when our first responders and emergency management team get overwhelmed in a catastrophic event like they saw that year. Since then, NBCERT and our Search and Rescue Division have supported the New Braunfels community by providing free basic preparedness, first aid, stop the bleed, and BLS training, first aid services and crowd management for community events, as well as search and rescue support to ours and the surrounding communities. As a not-for-profit, we do all this and more on donations and grants alone. In August of 2020, a 77-year-old resident, Dennis Seay, went missing on his family's 600-acre ranch. After county sheriffs had called off their search, our CERT and SAR teams were activated, along with several local organizations and various volunteers. After 3 days in the Texas summer heat, Dennis was found, alive thankfully, in a wooded area of the ranch by a volunteer searcher. Now, our police and fire departments had just recently started their own drone programs, and it was determined, had our SAR team had drones at the time, we could have ruled out several open areas of the ranch, considerably reducing the area that needed to be searched on foot and the amount of time Dennis had been seen missing without food or water. Now, I'm not saying it was because of this event, but in September of 2020, at the request of the city's emergency management and on behalf of the city's fire and police departments, the NBSAR team did a call for volunteer pilots and observers to act as backup and support for their growing drone programs. Our team would be focused in the areas of search and rescue operations, flood events, fire observation and assessment, and storm damage assessment. The fire department was kind enough to provide targeted funding to cover the cost of training and testing so 4 of our pilots could get their Part 107 certifications. In working through this effort, we realized that our search and rescue team gets activated several times a year, and these operations aren't always directly connected with our fire department or our police department. This would leave our team lacking drone support because we don't have our own equipment. So we can operate as a standalone drone team, we're currently drafting our Standards of Operating Procedures document and training curriculum with the help of the PCERT and NIST programs. Because we're a nonprofit, we've also been researching grants and fundraising opportunities to get the money we need to build our drone fleet, which is currently 0. On the evening of October 13th of this year, we had a heavy storm come through, raising the Guadalupe River to above 26,000 cubic feet per second at around 3 a.m., resulting in flooding of several areas across town. Due to the lack of drones and thermal imaging, our team was unable to provide needed support to our OEM or fire department until well into the morning, when we were able to at least provide damage assessments using personal team member drones. This event brought the need for equipment back to top of mind and put my search for grants in high gear, which led me to finding your organization. The thing is, grants that will actually cover drones and equipment are hard to find, and grants take several months to draft and, if awarded, several months until funded. We have an urgent need now to have drones available during our hurricane and flash flood seasons. Our current plan is to acquire 2 DJI Mavic Enterprise Advanced Systems, 2 DJI Mavic Mini 2s, and the equipment to build 2 remote command centers. Eventually, we want to get an Inspire or Matrice, but that's much further down the line. I'm going to continue searching for grants or fundraising opportunities, but any help in finding drone or equipment donations would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your time.